A knife.
Is it a knife? That's a knife.
How's it going, everyone? Nathan's MRE, and today we have a very special ration. This is a Australian CR1M. This is from our good friend Old Mate Drop Bear. If you have not seen Old Mate Drop Bear's videos, I'll put a link in the description. This guy lives in Australia. You have to check out his videos. His delivery when he speaks is spot on. Very cool dude, does a very thorough job. You won't be disappointed. That being said, he also sent us some Vegemite. He also sent a couple of things for Amber to review. And I guess without any further ado, let's open it up and get into it. Okay, so we'll put the Vegemite. We'll do that a little bit into this. We'll set it off to the side for right now. Cut this guy open. It does have a sheet on it here. Food allergies general. Tells a little bit about it. And let's cut it open and see what's going on inside. I need to send Old Mate Drop Bear some rations in return for his generosity, because the shipping on this thing, at the price on the package, was wicked for the shipping. I need to send some stuff. I want you guys to write in the comments what you think I should send Old Mate Drop Bear for him to review. That being said, cut this guy open from the end. Pull it out. We have a package of noodles. Those like a ramen type noodles, 55 grams. There is a monumental amount of stuff in this ration. It's a little bit over 4 pounds. We have a package of your standard chocolate M&Ms. Then we have a little tiny can of processed cheddar cheese. We have another can of diced peaches and syrup, and it is also somewhat of a small can. We have instant mashed potatoes. We've had these, or similar to these, in the Canadian rations. And those were absolutely fantastic. Very good. I imagine these won't be too far behind that, or maybe even a little better. This one we have product in New Zealand, meals ready to eat. Let's see, Fruitcake. So this is packaged more like the old brown, dark brown bag US MRE Fruitcake. They came in little pouches, something similar to that. We have, let me see here. This says bread, is all it says. We have a little package of tissues or TP for your other end. Non-dairy creamer, a pretty large package of that. There's quite a bit of that in there. We have a large package of Lifesavers, Peppermint. Actually, I have those here in the States. We have Marmalade. No kidding. I think it's like a jelly. We'll definitely investigate that coming up. We have a chocolate bar, chocolate ration. It's a little bit squishy. Maybe feels like sort of a Tootsie Roll type deal. Don't know. Yeast Extract. I'll do a little research on this and see how we're supposed to use that. I'm not exactly sure. A lot of tubes in here. We have sweetened condensed milk. Similar to the Russian sweetened condensed milk, is in a squeeze tube. It should be very good. We have a sports drink lemon lime. All this stuff feels nice and fresh. We have a date of 17/3/16, so I'm guessing it's 3/17/2016. We have tomato soup. Sounds interesting. Chocolate drink. Hot chocolate to be exact. We have a cereal bar apricot. We have chicken and wild rice. We have natural muesli. We have the accessory pack. We'll come back to that here in just 1 second. We have chili con carne. We have a Jack Link's peppered steak. We have a huge giant shovel spoon, and look how thick that is. It's just a huge spoon. And this, I believe, should be matches, possibly. It is matches. So it has some windproof and some regular. A wooden stick. Nice little watertight holder for those. We have a little piece of Brillo or Scotch-Brite for cleaning utensils, I guess. And we have it's like a garbage bag. Then we have our little spreadsheet here. Tells about everything. Pack 2015/2016, so the date would be correct on that. And then I guess it's kind of an ingredients list of what's all in everything. Give you something to read, I guess, when you're out in the field. Oh, it's trifold. Let's see. Huge piece of paper. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And this was, I guess, menu C is what the big C means on it. Let's go ahead and check out the accessory pack. Are nice buried in all this stuff. There's so much food here. I think the accessory pack is bigger than some of the Chinese MREs that we did. We have 1 pack of sugar, 2 packs of sugar, 3 packs of sugar, 4 packs of sugar. Then we have 2 rubber bands, I guess to reseal stuff. We have 2 tea bags. We have a sugar-free gum, peppermint flavored. Instant coffee, black pepper. Another instant coffee. Little thing of Tabasco. We have a opener for the cans. It's like a jumbo size P38. It says something on it. Let me see if it actually has a name for it. It says CT 2015. That has a part number. It also has a spoon on the back side of it. We have a package of salt. We have a little piece of paper. We have a package of tomato ketchup. And another package of sugar-free gum. That is a lot of food. Okay, so everything's out on the tray. It doesn't even fit on the tray. There's so much stuff. We got some extra bowls here. I absolutely despise doing these in 3 different sets. It's very difficult for the video. It doesn't work out. If we do a 2-part video, nobody watches the second part, and we have to do it all in one go. So we're going to go through this very quickly. We're going to set everything off to the side, and we're going to come back and do opening all of it. And a chocolate drink that needs to go off too. All of our drinks we're going to put right here. And we're going to start off by opening the chocolate bar and all the bars. This chocolate bar looks like it did not turn out too good. And it is very broken down. Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're just going to leave that right here. I don't think that's any good, but we'll come back to it. And our peppered steak bar or Jack Link's, we're going to go and crank that open right now. That still looks like it is very good shape. Smells very good. Put that off to the side. And then our M&Ms. Open those up really quick. Maybe. And the M&Ms also got battered and or turning into dust. So those may not be any good either. They smell very old for some reason. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because the main bag is just a plastic bag and not anything overly protective, you might say. I don't know. I guess we'll find out if you guys in just a switch closer. We're going to go and open up this package of bread. The package of bread does not have any pill bill seal on it. That's all right, because we got our pill bill seal right there. There we go. Open that guy up, take a look at it. And this is more like a dinner roll. Look at the size of that bad boy. It still smells very good, very fresh, without any issue. We're going to go and open up our cereal bar apricot. Should be interesting. Almost like a Fig Newton in it. It smells like apricot. It smells good. We'll put that on top of the chocolate there, and we'll keep moving on. Okay, so we got the mains heating up. We're going to open up this fruitcake. This fruitcake should be interesting. It has tear notches, but it feels like the fruitcake is actually all the way to the edge of the tear notches. So we don't rip it all to shreds. We'll just slice down the side of it. And it definitely looks like a early brown bag fruitcake. But look how shiny it is. It smells very nice. It has cloves, different spices in it. It smells especially good. I mean, very good, matter of fact. We'll set that right there. All this other stuff, we're going to do the drinks. We'll do that off camera so this video is not 4 hours long. We have a brown bowl here because the white ones mess with our whiting. Had to turn around and look. Something's happening. Something's happening behind me with the tea kettle. Let me go check it out. Alright, sorry about that. Using our tea kettle to heat up the mains. We put a little water in it and heat it up like that. And the lid popped open for whatever reason. It sounded like it was burning the house down, so you had to go check it out. Okay, so the noodles. Dump all that out in here. And we have some seasoning packets with the noodles. Noodles smell very beefy, just smelling them out of the package. So it looks like maybe some soy sauce. I'm not sure what that is. Does it even say? Let's see here. Seasoning powder, sugar, flavor enhancers, spices, salt, protein, seasoning liquid, palm oil, fried onion, fried garlic. Not too much about the fried onion or the fried garlic. Sweet soy sauce. I'm guessing this is soy sauce. And yeah, so we might skip that and that. Do the other ones. Let's get some hot water added to this, and we'll keep moving forward. Okay. I don't know how much to add here exactly. We'll just kind of wing it and kind of add it as we need it here. It looks like that's probably pretty close to the right amount. So before we go any further, we'll set that off to the back. Let that kind of do its thing. And next up, we're going to do this muesli, the natural muesli, fruits and seeds. Okay? There's no way all this is going to fit on the tray. We're going to do this. What a huge, huge amount of muesli. Holy. All right. So I think the seeds are pumpkin seeds. And it looks to have, what's that, cranberry? And possibly dates in it. Let's see. It's pineapple sugar, acidity, dried cranberries, dried apples, pumpkin seeds. Okay, that's cool. We'll go ahead and make that with hot water, I guess. next up, we have our instant mashed potatoes. Go ahead and rip that guy open. We have our final bowl here. You can see there's all kinds of spices and seasonings in that. Doesn't smell like much because they're dehydrated. But look at the amount. It's actually potato flakes instead of just powder. That is a massive amount. Okay, so we're going to do these drinks next. We have our sports powder lemon lime. This is for, let me see here, 500 mil. So this is about 250 mil glass. We're going to do about half of it in here. I don't know. It doesn't smell very good. And it's got some, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. All right, let's just fill her up here and see what the situation is. It does have some odd floaties in it. But it's definitely showing its age. Doesn't really smell like much of anything at all. Kind of different. All right, so the rest of that pack's there. And now we're gonna do, I think we're down to tea and coffee. All the mains are already done. We'll just jump into this real quick. Instant coffee. Probably ought to, I'll dump it in here. There's no water in here yet. Dump it in here and take a look at it. All right. Coffee looks perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and give that a shot of hot water. All right. Moving on, let's do the tea bag. And then we're going to do that tomato soup to be the last thing. A nice smell to it. That is bell tea. This is packaged in New Zealand. There we go. The water's hot but not boiling. So let's move that to the back. Let me get the water for the tomato soup and we're about ready to eat. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and shift a few things around here and get our bread there out of the way. Okay, we have our first main, which is chicken and wild rice. So let's go and open that bad boy up right now. Chicken wild rice looks pretty dang good. And it smells very good. Now, usually chicken wild rice, it just mean chicken and rice, and it'd be really bland and not have much flavor. This stuff here has a little spiciness going on to it. It has water, vegetables, tomato, onion, red capsicum, mushroom, eggplant, zucchini, red rice, tomato paste, wild rice, cornstarch, sugar, milk, garlic powder, vitamins, and riboflavin. So we'll set that off to the side. Where's our towel? There it is. We're going to open up our other main here, and this one was chili con carne. And it actually looks kind of similar to chicken wild rice. It does have a nice bit of chili powder to it. And it does resemble almost like a canned chili, you might say. And I feel like I'm gonna knock this stuff over, so let's put it back here. And these are in the little bags that stand up themselves, so we can stand them up back here in the background. And there it is. Let me see here. So we're still waiting on tomato soup and chocolate drink. Those will be out shortly. Let's go ahead first of all, since the spoon's already stuck in the potatoes, let's try those out first of all. So, get a nice little bite here. And it is literally a full bowl of mashed potatoes. I tell you what, it very much does taste like real potatoes. It does not have the instant weird taste to it at all. Man, that is very nice, very good. Move on to the chili con carne here. And it is a little processed looking. You see some red beans or chili beans in there. Let's go ahead and take a taste. That's not bad. Actually has a fair amount of spice to it. I was getting the Tabasco sauce out, but I really don't think that needs that. One complaint about MREs, usually they're pretty bland. This one actually is not at all. I would give the chili con carne 8.5, 9 out of 10. That is really good. The chicken and wild rice, I'm curious to see by the smell. It smells a little bit different. Let's try it and see. The chicken and wild rice, it's really good. A little heavy on the onions for my personal taste, but a little trickle of the Boy Scout water here. And we should be good to go with that. Just a little trickle, nothing real crazy. Take a bite and see. A little bit more heat, that nice pepper flavor to it. Absolutely cannot ask more than that. All right, so moving on forward, the ramen is, it looks very bland. So we're going to see here, we have some packages of dry seasoning. And what is that? This smells like basically like beef bouillon. Put a little bit of that in there. And the other side could possibly be the same thing. Kind of like you get ramen here. It has little season packs with it. It is the same thing. The other side looks like it got some air to it. And it's all one chunk. So we're going to set that off to the side. And I'm not going to put the garlic and stuff in it. We might put some of the soy sauce in it. Because we're pretty certain it's soy sauce. So maybe we won't go too overboard with it. That, my friends, is some pretty thick stuff. Maybe just a small amount of that. Because if it's not something we like, we're going to ruin the whole batch of it here. So a little more seasoning on it. Let's just give it a sample here real quick. A little mini shovel. It's very, one of those packages is very sweet. Almost a brown sugar kind of flavor to it. But overall, it is pretty good. I'm not a huge ramen noodle person. A lot of people just go crazy over it. I haven't eaten ramen noodles in probably 10 years, to be honest with you. Let's go and taste it one more time here. Definitely one of those packages had a lot of sugar in it. So it is kind of a sweet and slightly salty taste to it. Let's jump into this sports drink. It looks very green all of a sudden. Very odd. There's no taste at all to it. Very strange. It's definitely not bad. I mean, it would have that whiskey kind of taste to it. There really is not much flavor at all to it. So we're mixing here. Let's go ahead and mix this hot cocoa up. And we'll go and get that started. No more mugs down here. We're going to put it in a glass. Be a little better for you guys to be able to see a little bit better. And it is quite a lot of powder. And it makes roughly 200 mil. Holy, come on, get out of there. Alright, that's all of that. It is quite a lot of powder in it. And we're going to go ahead and take our hot water. I could barely hold the measuring cup. Something like that is how we're going to end up with it. And our tomato soup, as far as that goes, looks risky. Real risky. This guy's right here. Slice the corner of that off. It says dissolve this in 250 ml of boiling water. And luck be have it, it's right at 250 ml. Here's how that looks. Got some little noodles in it. Wow, that smells awesome. A lot of basil and stuff like that in it. Look at all the powder in the bottom. I guess that's what's going to make the broth to it. So let's see. Definitely same way with this one. Get its own little spoon here. We're going to go ahead. Let's jump into this muesli. It's on the very back here. And before it gets cold, I want to try it. It is slightly cooling down. And it's gotten very, very thick, even though it's still slightly warm. So we're going to go ahead and scoop out some of our pieces of apple, cranberry, our pumpkin seeds, and all that stuff. I'm curious to taste this to see how this is. Oh, wow. That is such a hearty little dish. It is so packed full of flavor. It's almost like eating a trail mix bar, but in a bowl. Man. Might be the best muesli I've ever had in my entire life. Let's go ahead and open up this little can of cheese. I'm very curious about that. We use our semi-dangerous looking can opener here. Okay, here we go. It looks, it smells very, very delicious. It is almost like consistency of butter. A little bit more firmer than butter. It does taste like real cheese. It is very firm. Put that back off to the side just for a second here. And we'll get that on some of the bread. Next up is our peaches. We have a little bit of cheese on our opener. Fix that real quick. All right, here we go. Now that a perfect little container of peaches. Has a very fresh smell to it. And they are cut up very small and precise. Let's go and take a bite of that and see how that is. Very, very nice sauce to it. Very light syrup, but still plenty of sugar. I tell you what, no pits, nothing weird. A very high quality peach. All right, moving on to this tomato soup. It's gotten a little bit thicker. It looks absolutely delicious. It actually smells like actual tomato soup, a nice real tomato smell to it. Let's take a bite here and see. I don't know if I could pull this over the camera without dripping all over it. Probably not. Let's see. The noodles are nice and tender. That is a very good cup of tomato soup. I've had some of those before. I remember where I got that. It was a Polish or what it was. Oh, it was a French. But the soup was kind of off. I don't know what was going on with it. It was kind of odd. Okay, so getting down to business here. Let's go ahead and try some of this tea out, kind of cleanse our palate a little bit. The tea turned out really good. The tea is very decent. I'm trying to find somewhere to ditch this tea bag. We won't have to. We'll leave the tea bag in it. We'll set up here on the tray, and we're going to get this sweetened condensed milk out, and we're going to try a little bit in our tea to sweeten it up. Has a little barb on the back of the cap. I'm going to puncture that. Doesn't smell like much of anything. Let's go ahead and give that a little squeeze. Okay. And then we'll get its own spoon, give it a little stir, and see if that sweetens up the tea. It did turn it a little bit cloudy. So let's see. It made it slightly sweet, but not like you would think. Maybe I didn't put enough in it. I'm really not sure. Let's try this. That's really good. It's not as sweet as what you would think, though. It is like a semi-sweet sweetened condensed milk. Okay, so next up, we're going to try this marmalade. And it doesn't really say sugar, citrus fruit, water, pectin, P-C-T-I-N. Never heard of it. We're about to hear of it, though, right now. Let's go ahead and let's rip a piece of this bread off, and we're going to guinea pig this marmalade out with it. The bread's slightly dry. I should have heated it up, maybe. But it is still pretty pliable. So marmalade just like clear? Kind of. Marmalade is similar to jelly, as far as I understand it anyway. Afraid to squeeze it too hard, afraid it'll have it all over the table. Alright, let's go ahead and try that and see. Doesn't smell like hardly anything at all. It's like a very sugary, very sweet, citrus, vitamin C kind of flavor to it. Kind of like a real thin, overly sweet jelly. It's not a bad deal at all. Just a little bit different. And next, our yeast extract. I'm not really sure. Ooh. How to do this. But I remember seeing this right. You just put a very tiny bit on a piece of bread. And that's the way you eat this. And it should be very salty. It is very salty. I'm sure you could add that to these mains. It's almost like a really thick soy sauce kind of flavor to it, but with more salt. Before we get into this dessert, we're going to try some Vegemite. And from what I read, Everybody squeezes stuff into a spoon, crams a whole spoonful in their mouth. That is not the way you're supposed to do it at all. That's not how the Australians do it in the least bit. How they do it kind of like I did with that. We'll put just a little bit of it on our spoon instead of about a pea-size bit on your spoon. And they would use it with like a hot bread with butter on it and just put a very thin layer on that. And it's supposed to be full of vitamins and all kinds of good stuff. About the thickness of that. That's actually probably a little more thicker than what should have it. By smelling of it, you can't really smell anything at all. Slightly salty. I can't really say if I like or don't like that. To me, it just tastes salty. And that's it. Nothing else to it. Moving on. We're going to go into this dessert. Before we do that, clean my palate here. A little bit of this coffee. Wow. That coffee is extraordinarily bitter. So we're going to put a little bit of this magic juice in it, a little bit of sweetened condensed milk. I mean, bitter like bitter. Might be the most bitter coffee I've ever had. That good stir. We gave it a fair squeeze. Let's see if that made it any better. Yes, it definitely did. That took a lot of the edge, a lot of the harshness out of it, and made it actually palatable. Before we get on to that, we do need to try our beef jerky stick out. This thing is showing its age just slightly. I'm going to rip it open. You can see here. Looks pretty decent. It smells very teriyaki, if that makes any sense. Let's try it and see. Very nice pepper background to that. We'll wash that down with a little bit of our hot chocolate here, which is still red hot. Very similar to US MRE hot chocolate. I like that. Even the European stuff's like that. It's just not overly powered with sugar. And moving on, this was, I believe, the Fruitcake. Where are we at here? Everything's all jumbled around. Right here, this is a Fruitcake. All right. Look at that. It's like something your grandma baked. A lot of cloves, a lot of like a allspice seasoning, like a spice cake. Nuts and raisins, all kinds of stuff in it. Very nice. That held up very well. This is a very spongy cake. Apricot bar. Go ahead and break that open. It smells very nice. Kind of crunchy on the outside, actually. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Might be showing its age a little bit. I give that I would say 9 out of 10. That's pretty decent. I haven't had much that was better than that as far as those bars go. And I don't really see anything to use a ketchup in on this meal. You guys seen people use ketchup before, I'm sure. We got to the side. We'll jump into these Lifesaver Peppermintos. We'll get one of these going here. Very nice, lightly sweetened, almost more of a candy than an actual breath freshener. And we're going to move on to our sugar-free gum. Let's see what we got here. This peppermint sugar-free gum. 4 pieces. 4 pretty large pieces. Gotta tell you what, the gum, nice mild peppermint flavor to it. The only thing I'm a little concerned about we're not going to be able to try is this chocolate bar. And like I showed you before, it's just completely gone. I don't know why. It's even smelling a little bit on the sour side. So we're going to go ahead and let that go. That's pretty much it for this ultra nice Australian meal. I could not be more thankful to Old Mate Drop Bear. You guys go to his link in the description. Show his channel some love. He's just starting out. He doesn't have many subs. You'll know what I'm talking about immediately about his delivery on his, basically all his MREs and the way he delivers it when he speaks. He does a very good job at it. That's going to be all for the CR1M Australian military ration. Thanks for watching, guys, and you all have a good day.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rough stripes and bright stars